gracious. All right. Just checking and making sure. I'm listening to the stream to make sure it goes live. And you know what's so funny? I'm looking at the picture that I used as my title card for this channel, and it's got a plain black hat, and the shirt says Misfit Corner Comics.
It's fine.
Yeah, I know. But now I'm going to have to fix it. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Scams. This is the Arsenal Andrew speaking. It's Saturday night, and we are live streaming. Yay! And once again, as usually always, is my good buddy, Avery. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
Today was a long day, and it was long for the wrong reason. Last weekend, it was raining, and it was crappy, and I was extremely busy at the store. Today, it was sunny and beautiful, and nobody came. So I don't get it. People stayed home, I guess, but I made a few sales, but not very many. So, but I guess that's what happens. You know, when the weather's nice, people go out and do stuff fun. Unlike me, get stuck at the store.
I hated going to the flea market when it was crappy weather.
Oh, you'd be amazed how many people go. It's like they have nothing else better to do. They go to the flea market. It's crazy.
Weird.
Yeah. All right, let's check in and see who all's here. Tim's here. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Says good evening all from the chilly Henderson, Kentucky. I'm sorry, man. Chilly. Ugh. Actually, I think it's supposed to get into the 70s tomorrow. It's supposed to be nice around here. So, yeah. BB's here. BB says, hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. Jim's here. Jim says, good evening all. Happy Saturday night. Welcome. Jim says, good evening to BB. BB says, he seems to be fashionably late again. Yes, I am. Actually, we had drama. We had drama that had to be dealt with, and it's not my drama. But I kind of got involved in it. Dave says, hello to Drew. Christina's here and says, hello, everyone. BB says, hey to Jim. Manuel's here. Welcome, good sir. He says, good evening, my friend Drew and Avery. Happy Saturday night. Thank you so much. Dave says, hello to Avery. Sarah's here, says, good evening. Had a hard time getting on the chat. Oh, really? Oh, boy. Jim says, good evening to Avery. Birth says, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Glenn's here, says, it's alive. Yes, it's live streaming. BB says, hey to Drew and Avery. Manuel says, good evening to Glenn and Sarah. Sarah says, hi to Avery and Drew. B. Bernie B's here. Welcome. Says, good evening, Drew and Avery and chat. Manuel says, good evening to Jim. Tim says, I noticed that you were missing a template on your glasses on some videos. Yeah. What literally happened is I was outside taking out the trash and my glasses flew off my face. And what did I do? I stepped on them and snapped the whatever this is right here. And I have since
my glasses are broken on both sides.
Oh, really? Well, I have since used some heavy-duty epoxy and reattached it.
Mine are attached by super glue and goon tape, which sort of makes a cast.
Yep.
Because goon tape is soft and kind of porous. It's mushy. It's like a hockey tape or something.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's like a padded tape, right, for like wrapping things so you can grip them. I've got that wrapped around there, and it's super glued. So when it dries, it's like a cast.
Okay. Yeah,
I need to go get new glasses.
This is the same stuff that I use on my key. My key broke, so but it's also got tape around it too. But I don't have tape on my glasses. I didn't need that. Yeah. But yes, I got a lot of comments on how I should accept the scammers Vision insurance and get new glasses.
The Vision?
The Vision, yeah.
The Vision.
Sarah says, Connecticut says hello. Thank you, Sarah. Welcome. Dave says, hi to Manuel. Manuel says, to be Bernie B, happy Saturday night. Jim says, good evening to Manuel. Sarah says, Avery not feeling well? Nope, he's here. He's here. He has bounced back very well. Have you not?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Good. Manuel says, good evening to Tim. Glenn says, lots of dead air calls from Betty, my alter ego, to answer this week. No playtime for me. I was surprised. Today was very, very quiet. I maybe only got like 3 calls. I was rather shocked. Even for a Saturday, that's nothing. But then again, I did miss a couple of calls, so I don't think I talked to anybody all day today. So, hey, it's nice to have a day off. Manuel says hello to Dave. Sarah says, I love the cold. I like the cold. I don't know if I love it. Jen and I were watching the True Detective season 4, which takes place in Alaska. And the whole time I'm watching the show, I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't live there. Nope, couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I like the cold, just don't love the cold. Darlene's here. Hey, Darlene. Darlene says, hi, everyone. Manuel says to BB, happy Saturday night. Tim's here, says, I enjoy your long talk with the cable scammers. Oh, I had fun with those. I had fun with that. Manuel says to Darlene, happy Saturday. Vicky and Benji are here, says, good Saturday evening. Welcome to the show. Jim says, your video with the female on the Spectrum cable box was funny. Those scammers ever get ripped off from the bosses for working and trying to scam victims. Guys, I don't know if you are aware, but there was a journalist who got taken by a scammer and decided to write an article about how she was taken advantage of. And when you guys hear what it is they convinced her of and what she did, there's not a single person in my audience that would have fallen for this stupid thing. And this journalist fell for it to the tune of $50,000. Yeah, I got to find the article. I'll share it with you guys. Let me catch up on the chat and I'll share it and I'll find it. But BB says, hey to Manuel. Manuel says, good evening to Vicky and Benji. The 2 of us are here. Welcome. Says, guess who? The 2 of us. Ha ha ha. So say we both. Welcome to the show, both of you. Vicky and Benji says, good evening to Manuel. Christina says, me also to Sarah. Manuel says, happy Saturday night to the 2 of us. And Manuel says, good evening to Christina. Hey, Glass Bottle's here. Hey, how's it going? Hello, E&E. Tim says, my late brother would sleep in his glasses. Oh, I try not to do that. Because I roll a lot.
Yeah, that's how I've broken several.
Yeah.
Just fell asleep with them on.
Manuel says, my friend Drew, we celebrate my baby sister, her birthday today, and we get to eat delicious restaurant food. Fantastic. Well, tomorrow is my daughter's bridal shower. And the drama that I mentioned before was my wife decided, we went to Publix earlier. Was it last month? Was it Monday? Monday. And placed an order at the bakery and then placed an order at the deli for food and cakes and cupcakes and all sorts of stuff. And she thought she might want to change part of the order. So she called Publix. They lost the orders. They had no record of either one of them. And it's tomorrow. They found the bakery one. So that's taken care of. But the woman said they did not have a record, even though we had the receipt and everything, the printout with everything on it for the deli order. So the lady told her to do it again, do the order online. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that is so ridiculous. But my wife is dealing with that right now. My job is to pick it up and pay for it and get it to the place on time. And so luckily my job is a lot easier than hers. So she's dealing with that drama right now. And then, of course, my mother-in-law wanted to come in and talk about something that had nothing to do with it. And my wife is like really patiently trying to tell her to leave me the hell alone.
Yeah, like not right now.
Not right this second. That's right. Ow, I bit my tongue again. God dang it. I've done that
What's with you?
times. I've done that 3 times in the last 2 days. Oh well. Darlene says, snow is melted. Looks like spring here. Fantastic. Sarah says hello to Manuel. The two of us say hello to Manuel and everyone. And Manuel just says you. Jim says, I got an email Friday stating my HP printer is going to be shut off if I don't call the 800 number to update my info. I don't have an HP printer. I have a Canon printer. That's funny. I have not received that one, but that's definitely an interesting one.
Not to mention, more and more people no longer even have home printers.
Right, that's true. That's true. Manuel says, you hear about AT&T power outage this Thursday morning? Yes, I did. It didn't stop the scammers from calling me, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I didn't have, they said Verizon and T-Mobile was also affected. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. So I don't know if anybody else did, but supposedly it was an updated software glitch, but it's scary. The thought that something as small as an a glitch in software can cause an outage like it did.
Oh, you get the
people that were affected.
You get the wrong line of code wrong, or a new line of code interacts with an old line of code in a way they did not predict.
Yep,
everything goes down.
Check this out. The two of us says the phone was dead for 2 days there. Oh wow.
Oh damn.
That's scary. I mean, a lot of people, we use our phones religiously and for so many things. It's scary, the thought that, you know, that it could be gone, that you could lose it. And then what do you do, you know? Darlene says, I just
smoke signals.
Smoke signals, yeah. Darlene says, I paid $900 for new glasses. Ouch. I think the last pair I got, my Vision one that I use for when I'm driving, and then these, which are like reader copies, they're for what I used with the computer, cost me about $400. So that's definitely, and that's with insurance. That's with Vision insurance.
Oh man, the last pair I had, which this isn't even the last pair I bought. This is the glasses before then.
Yeah.
It was under 400. And I don't have insurance.
Wow. Well, that's a good deal then.
Yeah.
Dang. Charles 34 says, hi, all. It's funny that you called them stupid. I call them stupid all the time. Manuel says, good evening to Charles. Glenn says, 250 rupees equals $3. Oh, wow. BB says, I apologize if I misspelled some words. Try typing with one hand. Hey, no problem. We understand completely. Joe's here and says, happy Saturday night, everybody. Joe, welcome to the show. Manuel says, happy Saturday to Joe. Vicky and Benji said, I think I saw the story about the journalist losing money. Yes. It was on a website or a news site called The Cut. So I'll have to Google it real quick, but guys, I did not read the article. I kind of watched somebody else talk about it who was reading the article, but supposedly this woman got taken advantage of. It was initially an Amazon call. And guys, y'all know Amazon does not call you to verify your charges. They're not going to try to stop you from using Amazon and making money, you know? And it went from Amazon to the FTC, which you guys have heard me take those calls many times. And eventually it got to the CIA, and they convinced this woman, Avery, to get $50,000 out of her bank, put it in a shoebox, take it out to a car that drove past her house, and throw it into the back seat, and not to look at the driver and not say anything to the driver. This woman
get the fudge out. They did what?
That's what she claimed. And she claims in the article that they knew her name, her social security number, where she lived. She knew that her son was home with her at the time, and that they claimed that people were watching her. And I'm like, I've never had anybody claim that. But like I've said before, and you probably would agree with me, I would love for them to come to my home so I could show them what stand your ground state is like. You know? But I know you're laughing. Yeah, I know. But she literally put $50,000 in cash into a shoebox and put it in a car that drove past her home. That's the story. But it started with an Amazon scam that went to the FTC, which you guys, if you've listened to any of my videos, I've had those before. And then usually it doesn't go to it goes to the FTC, and then it goes to, forgot who the other one. Usually it goes to somebody else, but supposedly she claimed it was the CIA. And I always thought journalists were smarter people.
No, they're clearly not.
Yeah, but I always thought they would be smarter. That's all I'm saying. Manuel says good evening to Glass Bottle. BB says, hey, two of us. Missed you last Saturday. We did. Jim says good evening to Vicky and Benji. Vicky says good evening all. Welcome to the show. Vicky and Benji says hello to Jim. I'm getting my names mixed up here. Manuel says good evening to Vicky. Jim says good evening to Vicky as well. Vicky and Benji say hope all is well with Manuel. BB says, oh no, Drew, hope all gets resolved. Yeah, me too. Especially since I'm the one that's got to go and pick it up tomorrow. I hope everything gets figured out. I'm sure it will, and I'm not going to panic. I'm very calm, cool, relaxed. So that's the way I'm going to stay. Sarah says, is the shower a surprise? Is the shower a surprise? No. It's not a surprise shower. No. As a matter of fact, my daughter and her aunt, my sister, were at my parents' house today, setting up the tables, doing some cleaning. She's very much involved. She's very much in all. So it's not a surprise. If we show up with no food, that'll be a big surprise. But
surprise!
So one of the things that my wife set up is, with the invitation, there was a little note card, like a pastel note card. And part of the instructions was, because it's a bunch of ladies, bring your favorite recipe to share with the bride, right? And then the other thing that she was doing is bring the ingredients for your favorite adult beverage. And my wife, something that she likes is, it's called a cinnamon roll Kahlua something. I don't know, but it requires vodka, Kahlua, and some white stuff, and milk, and something. It's some type of stuff you put together, and it's an alcoholic beverage that's supposed to taste like cinnamon buns or cinnamon rolls. Whatever. I've never tried it. I have no clue, but it's something she likes, so she had me buy the ingredients for it. And my mother-in-law didn't understand that you weren't bringing the alcohol for you to drink. You were bringing it to give to the bride and the groom, and with the recipe for your favorite beverage for them to try. Because my mother-in-law came and said, I ordered 2 bottles of Crown Royal, one for me. There's a part of me that's going to be sad that I'm missing this party, because it's going to be an absolute train wreck. Don't tell anybody I said that. But the other part of me is, I don't want to be there because it's going to be an absolute train wreck. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But no, it's not a surprise. And everybody's going to have a real great time, and they're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm not going to be there to see it. I'm involved in the setup and the getting the stuff there on time, and then I'm leaving and going to the store, and then I will come back afterwards and help with cleanup. So that's my responsibility. Manuel says, I'm doing good. Saturday night with Vicky and Benji. The two of us says, yes, BB, we got preoccupied last weekend. That's all right. There are people out there that do have lives, and Saturday night for some people is like a very...
What?
Yep. Not us.
Not me.
Nothing going on Saturday nights for me. This is my highlight of my Saturday nights. So, you guys want to hear something really weird? The highlights of my Friday nights is spending time with this guy talking on the internet.
Lucky you.
Sad is that? How sad is that? Yeah, I know. BB says, told a scammer to go to hell the other night. Called as I was getting ready to watch a show of with my son. Perfectly, utterly acceptable. I've said it before. If you talk to a scammer and you've been having a bad day and you just want to blast them and yell at them and scream at them, feel free. It's not going to hurt them. They don't feel pain like we do. They're
not people.
Remorse. They're not people like us. They don't feel remorse like we do. So if you got some pent up frustrations, feel free to let it out on a scammer. That's kind of what they're there for. They're calling you in order to give you an outlet for the stress and frustration and anger and hatred, and it's what's the term? It's cathartic to talk to a scammer. Sarah says, I had problems with the AT&T, couldn't make or receive calls. How long did it last, Sarah? That's crazy that would happen, but yeah. Vicky and Benji says, my phone service was down almost for most of the day. Couldn't even call 911. I had heard on one of the news reports said that some of the phones were auto dialing 911. I don't know if there was because there was no signal or whatever. It made any call seem like an emergency call. I think that would, somebody at 911 would get pissed if that started to happen.
Oh, yeah, I think they did.
Jim says, no problem over here. I have T-Mobile. Right there with you, man. Right there with you. The two of us says, we think it was because we still have an old landline, no calls. Okay. Well, I mean, I got calls on the landline just as well, so. Vicky says, I never lost any signal, Central PA. Okay. Manuel says, I heard about scammers using police deputies calling people about getting arrested and paying fines or go to jail. Yeah, and pay with gift cards, too, is what they usually tell you. Pay with a gift card. You guys know if anybody says gift card in their conversation with you in regards to paying for anything, you guys know it's a scam and to mess with them, to screw with them. So everybody out there, Senpai says, in California, I never had a signal problem. T-Mobile, which I thought was affected as Verizon was too. I'd heard Verizon and T-Mobile were also affected, but to a much lower degree. And I never had a problem with my phone at all. So Glass Bottle says, I have a landline, no cell phone. Well, that's a lot of people. That's the way they still do it. Terracord says the outage affected cell service, but the Wi-Fi tech's now not affected. Oh, really? Okay. Glenn says, when I need new lenses, I just cut off the bottoms of 2 Coke bottles. I wish I could get away with that. These that I'm wearing right now, these are readers, and therefore I literally, in order to read something right here, I have to take my glasses off. To read something right here, I have to wear these, and anything beyond like 2 feet, I need my other glasses for. I'm getting old, dude. I'm getting very old. But my wife was telling me that some reader glasses you can buy over the counter. You can go to the grocery store and buy them. But I have no idea what the strength of these are. So I may need to go and find out in order to get like backup pairs, because I could not live without these glasses currently. Because just imagine either being able to see 2 inches in front of your face or 5 feet in front of you and not being able to see anything in between. It makes working. Well, actually, the funny part is, I'll end the story about my glasses. My old glasses, which I have right here, work okay for working on the computer. I struggle with them a little bit, but in an emergency, they work fine. So I have backups technically. So yeah, I got a lot of comments. Some people left comments, hey man, get some vision insurance and fix those glasses. And it's like, okay, I still needed to make calls. Still need to make videos. So the glasses were broke. I just kept going, But
oh yeah.
Manuel says to Tarakoff, happy Saturday night. Jim says, did anyone hear about the nurses in New York got scammed out of her life savings? Oh wow, I hadn't heard that one, but that doesn't surprise me.
Hear about the nurse that got murdered by a illegal from Venezuela?
No. That kind of story is happening more and more.
More and more, yeah.
Yep. Darlene says, I got an email scam from McAfee of the McAfee charge. It claims I paid them $600 plus a year's service. Laugh out loud. My mother-in-law gets that all the time too, and she's panicked about it and tried to pay the bill. And I'm like, wait a minute, stop. Do you even have McAfee? And she's like, no. It's like, then don't pay that bill. Having to help her is almost another full-time job. I'm trying to keep it down because I know she's out there. She's not watching this. She never watches this. I don't think she knows what YouTube is. BB says smiley or like surprised face. The two of us says rupees. Yeah, we found some paper rupee bills. We exchange rate them is 0.15 cents. Oh boy. Okay. Sarah says, I live on a dead end. Nobody really drives around here. Oh, yeah? Glenn says, is the shower hot or cold water? Depends on whether or not the food makes it there on time. Joe says, had the scammers tried the ACA scam health insurance, called me 10 times in one day, wanted to confirm that I had Medicare's Parts A and B. I'm only 40 years old. Yep. My son, who recently just turned 30, gets Medicare calls all the time. And I ask him to record them and screw with them. And he's like, Dad, I don't have time. I just yell at them and hang up. And they call back. I said, I know. They're not going to stop. Vicky and Benji says, you would think the part where she was supposed to throw a box in the car and not look at the driver would have been a red flag. You would think taking money out of your bank account and putting it in a shoebox was a red flag. I don't want to.
No sympathy for that reporter.
I don't. None whatsoever. Had she listened to my channel and heard some of the calls that I've taken with the Amazon scammers, she would have known immediately that it was a scam and just to screw with them. And no. They convinced her that the only way to save herself or save her life or save her child's life was to put $50,000, all because of an Amazon scam call. There's a part of me that thinks when they got her on the line and she started to go with it, that they were like, oh, we are in the money. This is going to be so easy. This person is so dumb. You guys have listened to a lot of my calls, and scammers are not bright. They're not smart. They're not. You cannot rub two brain cells together and have electricity happen. It doesn't happen. They're dumb. And for somebody to fall for something, talking to somebody so dumb, it just and then it's like these millennials that do something really stupid and then go on TikTok and make a video telling the world about it. This person wrote an article about how dumb she was.
Yeah, like eating a Tide Pod and posting it on, like, oh, that didn't go well.
Did you see the one where the girl was having problems and she was having itching and says, I need to go to the doctor. And then the next thing she says is, I found out I have herpes. And I'm like, you put that on the internet. Why?
Oh,
it just, these kids are crazy nowadays. And journalists, oh my gosh, where's the Bob Woodwards? Where's those nightly news people to be able to slap people? Like when Amazon calls you about when a foreign person calls you about your Amazon order that you did not make, don't be stupid. I know for a fact there is nobody in my audience right now that would fall for that scam.
Yeah, at least double
100%.
check your. At least double check your Amazon. You can go in there and you can see everything you've ordered ever.
Well, they always tell you we've frozen it or we stopped it because it's potential fraud, and you can't see it because of that.
I don't believe them.
Yeah, I don't believe them either. Glenn says, "Why do hot dogs come in a 10-pack but buns come in an 8-pack?" That was wasn't that
it gets you to buy more?
Yeah, wasn't that a that's a long time question.
Yeah, it's an old joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke, it's a riddle, but yeah. Glass Bottle says to Vicky and Benji, IKR, what's IKR? I know, right? Maybe. Scammers were probably yelling and threatening her. See, at that point, if a scammer's going to threaten me, I'm laughing my ass off and hanging up on them, you know? The fact that she says they knew her name and social security number means she's very loose with her personal information. Somewhere along the line, she gave her personal information to a scammer, and that's how they knew it. You know, they're not going online and looking up that information. You know, they're not.
Although you can. Maybe you
can. I've never, ever, ever had a scammer know my name, my address, any of my. I've had them know my name and my date of birth, and I've had them. I'm trying to think if I've had any that associated me with our current address. I don't think so. I think all the ones that have my name have our old addresses. So at some point, she gave it to somebody somewhere along the line.
Herpes,
yeah. Vicky and Benji says the Glass Bottle. That part was crazy. Hold on a second. Oh, yes. They were threatening her. Vicky says, I had an Amazon one a few weeks back, told them, thank you for following up. When will I get here? No, this is a fraudulent charge. It says, no, it's not. I spent $1,100 on a new computer through Amazon. Laugh out loud. Yeah, when you say, yeah, I think that is a valid charge, they know it's a scam, and they screw with you and hang up. Yeah, so, yeah.
Man, dude, scammer called, threatened me. I'm going to be like, well, I hope you got level 4 plates when you show up.
Show them what that stand your ground thing means, right? Is Georgia a stand your ground state, by the way?
Kind
of. I know Florida is.
Kind of. They have to be in the house if it's a home invasion thing. They have to be in the house.
You can always let them in. You know, you can always kick in your own door later on, you know.
It also depends on how buddy you are with the sheriff and if you're in a small town or not, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you're definitely in a small townish area.
Yeah, so. and my mom knows the sheriff.
There you go. Good job. Darlene says, from Trilogy Media, I saw a video of a widower who sent a romance scammer over $300,000. They finally convicted the guy, convinced the guy he was scammed. The romance scam appears to be one of the most popular growing one, because I've heard that many times. Matter of fact, it was a Kodiak who was telling me that he was on one of those dating apps, dating service, and he had been reached out by someone who was clearly trying to take advantage of him and scam him. He actually read to me some of the stuff that the person had texted, and it's you know, it's not like he's not like he's putting himself out there, but actually he is, and somebody is out there trying to take advantage of him. You know?
Yeah.
300,000. That's incredible.
There's a lot of dudes that are really lonely and they get taken advantage of on those dating apps by scammers because they're lonely. You know, they're sad. They're lonely people. Looking, you know, it happens.
Crazy. Senpai says, one I made before I call a buttered finger. It's milk, ice cream, a Butterfinger candy bar, and Kahlua or vodka blend well. Oh, wow. That actually does sound... Take out the Kahlua. It sounds... And vodka. It sounds pretty good. I don't know. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, guys. I don't drink. I don't drink. You could put every single alcoholic beverage I've ever drank in my entire life probably into one glass, and it would not be full. I have tasted stuff. As a matter of fact, Avery had me try beer one time, and that did not work for me. So I'm not a drinker. I have no experience whatsoever.
There's some drinks though that don't taste like alcohol.
Yeah.
That you could get wrecked on.
Well, my daughter bought me the Not Your Father's root beer one year.
That stuff actually tastes like root beer.
I don't think I ever cracked it open. I think my wife and my son and her pretty much drank them.
Yeah.
But that was after months of it being in the fridge where I never touched it. So
I
honestly don't remember. I don't think I ever tried it. And she bought it specifically for me to try, and it never happened.
That sweet tea vodka, mix that with sweet tea, you can get pretty wrecked on that stuff. I like
sweet tea to begin with, so I wouldn't drink that.
What? Sweet tea's awesome.
No, not going to happen. Andy says, hey, Andy, how's it going? Says, hey there, Drew and friends. Welcome to the show, Andy. Manuel says, hey to Andy. Glenn says, I sold my timeshare 27 years ago and still get calls where they want to take it off my hands. This guy called me and started swearing at me because I wouldn't sell it. That's funny. Vicky says, my favorite thing is for them, I'm indisposed. Then I have to explain. I have to poo. Laugh out loud. They don't like that. That's funny. Sarah says, it lasted a couple of hours. Oh boy. Okay. She's talking about the outage with her. Tim says, phone service. We're out in southern Indiana. Oh boy. Heinz is here. Says, hey, I take a full hand of Butterfingers plus some of those vodka buns. Manuel says, my phone, no problem for me. Okay, good. Darlene says, I still have a cordless landline in the kitchen. Sometimes I pick up the receiver and slam it down. That's almost cathartic. You know what I mean. That's almost good for you as well, slamming the phone down. Manuel says to Senpai, happy Sunday. Christina says, laugh out loud to Glenn. Heinz says, I have a VOI landline. I get lots of scam calls on them. I block them. Once in a while, I mess with them. I rarely get scam calls on my cell phone. That's the only phone I really have. I mean, I have the landline that I use, but most everything's on the cell phone. So Manuel says to Glenn, I like it very much. Jim says, my eye doctor had a pair of glasses made for me last year. They put bifold lens in the glasses. Now I can't adjust them or use them. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I ended up having two pairs of glasses instead of the bifold, is because my prescription had gotten so much more that they couldn't do the bifocals with it. So my eyes have gotten to the point where I absolutely have to have two sets of glasses in order to see crap, which is very sad because you guys, almost every single time I walk out the door, I immediately have to turn around because I forgot my glasses. I forgot the other glasses I need. And my mom, my mother-in-law, and my wife laugh every time I walk back into the house. They're like, glasses. Because they know I walked out of the house with these and forgot the ones that I need to be able to see where I'm going when I'm driving. So, all right, you guys have to give me a minute. I just need to quickly check on some auctions I'm bidding on right now. Just trying to see if I win. I'm probably not going to win, but that's okay. I'm trying. More stuff for the store. Berth says, I got my first ever Spectrum call and spent 45 minutes of her time before she was on to me and cursed me out. Fantastic. Very good. Wonderful. The Lady P says, hi, everyone. Welcome to the show. Dave's here. Dave says, I had a McAfee email. I called and said I didn't want the charge. They said it's a hidden charge. Oh, goodness. A hidden charge. Manuel says hello to the Lady P and to Dave. The Lady P says, happy Saturday to Manuel. Tim says she needs a box of crap. Yeah. You know what I think is funny is part of me wonders if that journalist was willing to go through it and lose the money in order to get the article, in order to write about it later.
I doubt it, because that's a lot of money. She didn't make that kind of money off of that.
Yeah, I know. But then again, I don't know. Sarah says, I'm talking about the person putting money in the car. Nobody drives around here for me to do that. Oh, I gotcha. Sarah says, how did she know the person driving was part of the scam? Most likely the person driving was the person talking to her, because the supposedly in the article it said something about don't talk to the driver, don't even look at him. So Tim says she was probably an English major. Probably. Glenn says, question, what do you call a brunette between two blondes?
An interpreter.
There you go.
Old Joe.
Says, I had to tell my husband and boys about those scams and how they operate. Yep, you got to tell them. They need to know about them. Vicky and Benji says, father of the bride. Yep, that's me. I'm very excited. I started to think about the father-daughter dance and how I have two left feet to begin with, but I'm going to go shake it. So we'll see how it works out. But I can make.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Do that dance like that. Some fat dude does it, where he just like jiggles his belly to the rhythm.
Oh, I don't think I would do that.
Yeah, just do that.
I know how to move my butt. I can make my butt.
Oh man.
Sandy's here. Sandy says, I disagree with scammers. No name and social security number. My identity was stolen through a data breach, and they had my social security number, trying like crazy to get my date of birth. Really? Wow. Vicky and Benji says, Steve Martin losing it in the grocery store over hot dogs and buns. Manuel says, I enjoy your video this morning. Awesome. Great job. And I laughed so much, my friend Drew. Well, fantastic. Glass Bottle says, better pack a lunch scammer. Hey, if scammers are getting $50,000 a pop, that's crazy. Sarah says, don't be dumb like me and fall for the scam like I did. Everybody falls for something, guys. You all know that. I'm not sure if I ever told you about the one that I fell for. And it wasn't like a scam. It was, I was at a gas station with my wife and kids in the car, and I was filling up the gas. And the guy on the other side of me, in front of his car, was on a cell phone, and he was talking to somebody, and he was talking loud enough that I easily overheard him. And that was by design. And he was talking about how he needed to pay for the tow truck or something because his car wouldn't start or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, I'm pretty sure he's gonna, because I'm in earshot of him, that he's gonna ask if I have any cash. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, what do I got in my wallet? Can I help this guy out? And I got done pumping, and he hung up his phone, and he said, excuse me, sir. And I said, oh, I overheard. Yes, I hear. And here's $5. And I gave him $5. I had $5 on him. He said, oh, thank you so much, boy.
Sucker.
And then he walked right into the store. And then somebody came out and got in the car and drove off. And he came out with a bottle of something. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I just bought the guy booze or something. Wait, what? I was so disgusted with myself. And he was so into it. He was so into the story that he was saying on the phone with whoever. He was probably not even talking to anybody. And it was just enough that I overheard it and felt sorry for the guy. And as soon as he came over to me, I was already pulling out my wallet, going to help the guy out. I was ready to help the guy out. And that wasn't even his freaking car. And he walked right on into the gas station and bought something with it. I felt so stupid.
Sucker.
Bottom line is, everybody falls for it. Everybody learns. Sometimes it's $5. Sometimes it's $50,000. Let's hope it's the $5 one.
Yeah.
Glenn says, if scammers threaten me, I tell them I'm protected by the law firm of Smith and Weston. That's right. Christina says, if they were smart, wouldn't they be working at? If they were smart, would they be working at a scam center? I'll be honest with you guys. From what I understand, in some of these third world countries like India and Pakistan and all, that's all they got. That's all that's available for somebody with low IQ. You know. I mean, I hate to say it. Here in the States, you're going to flip fries or flip burgers at McDonald's. You know, there they do call centers. You know, not to say anybody working. I'm trying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's a low need freaking egg. I can't do it.
It's great.
It's a low skill, not a low. You guys know what I'm trying to say. You don't have to be a brain surgeon to flip burgers at McDonald's, you know? And it's a entry-level job. It's a job that anybody can get and doesn't take a lot of experience or brain power. If anybody out there works at McDonald's, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disparage you at all. I'm not. I'm just saying that's...
But you are. It's just
bag boys at Publix and cashiers at McDonald's. They're entry-level jobs. They're made to be starter jobs for people. In these other countries, that's a scammer call center. They'll take anybody off the street. You know, it's the entry-level job. And I'm betting that a lot of people don't ever get good at it because they are dumb. So all right, let me catch back up on I'm getting very far behind here. Burr says, when I go to physical therapy, there's a very young staff. I tell them it's 2024 and scammers are getting smarter. I advise them it's not even give out their name and do not even give out their name and date of birth. You know what's so funny is how many young people generally don't get scam calls because you guys know they target the elderly, they target the senior citizens, they target the vulnerable people, but they have expanded those calls to everybody, so anybody can get them. And if you're not paying attention, somebody dumb can trick you. You know, what's that old expression? A broken clock is right twice a day. You know, so. Guys, just all you have to do is just if there's somebody in your life, just tell them. Be aware of scams because they happen all the time. You know. All right. I'm gonna try to double monitor here what I'm doing. Let's see. Where was I on the chat? Hold on a second. Manuel says, I watched the video on Wednesday morning, scam catfish. Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever done a scam catfish, but that'd be fun. Do you know they have a TV show on MTV called Catfish, the TV show?
I think it's pretty old, yeah. It's been around.
Yeah. Well, I only saw it when my wife was in the emergency room one day. It was what was on the TV at the time. And I had no idea people actually... It was a TV show. But, you know, whatever. Crazy people do crazy things. It was mostly guys trying to hook up with guys, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It was weird, but, oh, well. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm trying to move some windows around here. Trying to pay attention to multiple things because, as you guys know, I'm stupid and can't do 5 things at once.
What?
Okay. All right. There we go. Now I'm on the right track. Okay. All right. Back to the chat. Sorry, guys. Birth says, ever given out the name and date of birth, scammers can sometimes figure out everything else about you. Why do you guys think I give out fake names and fake date of births all the time? Never give them your real information. Good God, no. Wayback's here and says, Wayback says, Father of the Bride movie. Yeah, I remember that with Steve Martin. Gotcha. It's been a while since I've seen that one. I might have to watch that one again because it was funny. They actually made 2 of them. Emmanuel says hey to Wayback. Emmanuel says hello to Bet. Emmanuel says to Births, happy Saturday night. Wayback says Steve Martin argued with 10 hot dogs and 8 buns in Father of the Bride movie. Aha! That's okay. I do remember that. That was okay. Guys, I'm getting mentally loopy right now. Birth says hey there to Emmanuel. Andy says I hate iced tea, Drew, too. Yeah, I live in the South and have for many, many years. I was never an iced tea drinker. Never got into iced tea. I was more of a ice water kind of guy. Sarah says, I love strawberry daiquiris. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you live in the South, but you're not a Southerner.
No, I've never really claimed to be a Southerner. Nope. Manuel says, DeHines, happy Saturday night. Glenn says, have you tried flushing the toilet while talking to a scammer? The few times I've been on a call in which I was in the bathroom, I was kind enough to put it on mute before I flushed the toilet.
You shouldn't have.
I know. It would sometimes it might be funnier not to, but I try to be respectful of whomever I'm talking to on the phone, even if it's a scammer. So, Senpai Bob says, sorry, my comment came late. Yes, it's good. It's good without alcohol. It's basically an alcoholic Butterfinger milkshake. The girls love it back in the 20s. Happy Saturday to all. Excellent. Tara Korf says, Manuel, I hope you watch the romance and online scams on Wednesday also. Okay.
I like Guinness milkshakes.
D-Bad says, can you ever drive legally? I'm not sure exactly what he means by that. I mean, I drive legally all the time because I don't drink. So every time I'm behind the wheel, I'm legally to do it. So I don't know. The two of us says, you want to smash a phone? Get an old rotary dialer. Those mothers are tough.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's so funny is in the store today, I was doing some cleaning up and I found an old cell phone. I don't know how old it is. Just there, and I'm thinking to myself, this would be a really good phone to like start yelling into and then throw it across the room just to see how people react. Because it hasn't worked in years. I don't even know if it even turns on, but that could be another thing. Take an old cell phone and smash it. That could be cathartic as well. Manuel says, I do watch romance scam videos on Wednesday mornings. Okay. Glenn says, got a form in the mail for jury duty 2 weeks ago. Called in last Friday and didn't have to go. Phew. Yeah, the last time I got a jury summons, I was on one of the shifts that the night before it tells you if you are in this, you don't have to, and I didn't have to go. So I've never been to jury. Knock on wood. I've never had to do jury duty. So
I've had to go in for it.
You have? Yeah, I've never even had to go in. So,
but I wasn't chosen.
Yeah,
twice. I've had to do it twice. Once here, the first time I lived here, and once in Jacksonville.
Okay, very nice. Manuel says, Dead, happy Saturday night. I don't know who he's talking to. Dead. Senpai says, how rare are the reprints of old Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror comics, etc.? I'm not really sure about reprints. I know the actual comics themselves are pretty hard to find, but especially those Tales of the Crypts and so forth. So I don't see a lot of them coming through the store, but a lot of people that have those keep them because they love them. Manuel says, to D-Bad, happy Saturday. Oh, he meant D-Bad, not dead. You're okay, man. Paul says, hi, folks. Watching from London, England. We get the same stuff over here. Oh, really? You guys get the Amazon scammers, too? That's crazy. Glenn says, do the Julius Louise Dreyfus dance from Seinfeld. You know that? I could do that. I could definitely get away with that one. Wayback says, the scammers here in Melbourne can piggyback legit mobile phone numbers. I don't know how they do that. We we just call it spoofing over here, where they're actually using somebody else's number to identify their number as. So I don't know exactly how they do it or what technology they use, but it's very annoying, especially when it comes up, when my phone rings and it comes up as a business number, and they're definitely not calling from that business number. But it's always fun to question them on that. You guys have seen, I've got a couple of videos where I said, hey, you don't work at this business, do you? You know? All right, let's just see here. Oh, I was just checking on those auctions. I missed out on one. D-Bad says, you also to Manuel. Paul says, you are not alone. Okay. David says, hey, sorry I'm late. No problem, David. Welcome. Manuel says, Paul, happy Saturday night. Manuel says, David, it's okay. You come in late. No problem. Yeah, we all comers are welcome. Absolutely. Let's see. Paul says, hi, Manuel. Saturday morning here. That's right. Or Sunday morning there. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Let me just try this one more time. Let's see. Tim says, a guy asked me to help him with gas back when his son ran his car out. That was the second time he had hit me. I didn't fall for it. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I have, there's a guy that lives in the Arlington area who he's come up to me before on 3 different occasions, always with the same story about having to get to a certain location, something to do with his daughter and all. And the second time he came up to my car, it was when I was leaving the Chinese restaurant heading to my car, and he came up and said, sir, can you help me? And I'm like, what's this about? And he started to tell me, and I'm like, you do realize you've told me this same exact story before. And he's like, what are you talking about? Piece of crap. And then I saw him. He was walking up to a young lady who was walking to her car at the Best Buy parking lot. And I yelled out, I said, ma'am, don't believe a word he's saying. He's full of crap. And he's like, what are you talking about? And luckily she got in her car and left, but he was pissed at me because I interrupted his story.
You interrupted his grift, yo.
I interrupted his grift. I am a horrible person. So it's all right. It happens. I just checked. I didn't win any of the auctions I bid on, so that's all right. They were nice books, but obviously I did not need them. I did not need them vitally. Jim says, I fell for a scam in 2000. I was coming out of the store. This guy approached me and said he needed some money to get to work. He's a truck driver, and his boss is going to pay him $175 to run a... Oh, okay, his story got cut. Let me see if I can get back to it. David says, smiley faces to Manuel. Manuel says, I'm very sorry, Paul. Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's all right. Vicky and Benji says, it works fast food and restaurants in high school and college for extra money. Was that like was that like a starting job? Is what I'm getting at, because my starting job was at a Winn-Dixie. I was a bag boy at a Winn-Dixie. You know, it doesn't take a lot of brains to bag groceries, and I was not very good at it to begin with. I one time put a box of laundry detergent on top of the lady's ground beef, and she yelled at me. And I'm like, I'm just trying to put it in the bag. And, I just wasn't thinking. I wasn't smart enough to realize you don't mix ground beef with laundry detergent. Chemicals, yeah.
Yeah. You don't mix the food with the chemicals, and you don't mix the meat with the produce.
I learned very quickly not to do that.
Yeah, and you don't put stuff on top of a loaf of bread.
I don't remember them actually training you very well. They were just like, here, bag groceries. I guess they assumed everybody knows how to do it.
Because a lot of that stuff is common knowledge, so they just assumed you had a brain.
Yeah, well, dumb on them, huh?
I know.
They eventually made me a cashier, and I was pretty good at that until I got fired for stealing money, which, come to find out, wasn't me. It was actually the store manager was stealing money. He was then blaming some teenagers and firing them for taking money, and then come to find out he was the one doing it. Yeah. BB says, I nearly got taken by a romance scammer that I met on Facebook. Facebook is the devil. I was exchanging emails with him, but I wasn't about to send him any money. I don't have it. So now there you go. That's it. I joked with my dad one time. I said, if somebody wants to, an identity theft wants to take my identity and get credit in my name, good luck. That can only improve my credit. But well, that was years ago. Now I'm much more careful about that. Pez is here. Hey, Pez, how's it going? It says, good day, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Well, thank you so much for joining, Pez. Manuel says, good morning to my friend Pez. Sarah says, Drew, open mouth, insert foot. All the time. Pez says, good day to Manuel. BB says, found out that a scammer had stolen someone's Facebook page. I was heartbroken at first, but then pissed. My mother-in-law, how many of these stories have I started with? My mother-in-law, she was talking to somebody on Facebook chatting with somebody, and my niece had come over, and she was very excited about this conversation she was having with this gentleman. And my niece started reading the conversation, and when it got to the point where the guy was asking her how she got her money and how often she got paid, and my niece was like, whoa, Grandma, stop. What? And she's like, we were just talking. It's like, yeah, this guy was starting to get into your financials. She just thought he was a nice guy. Good God. Paul says, most but not all people are aware nowadays. You'd be surprised at how many people don't realize what's going on out there. They are oblivious to what's going on. So I highly recommend, especially if you have older people in your life, because those are the people that are targeted by scammers. Mostly. A lot of them already know. They already know when somebody calls and is screwing with them. But there are some people that don't know. So be well aware and keep an eye out on your older people. Keep an eye out. Jim says, part 2, load to upstate New York. I gave him $5. 3 days later, I ran into the same person, and he told me the same story. I caught him in a big lie. Did you beat the crap out of him, Jim? Darlene says, I met my husband at the McDonald's in 1907. I think she means 1970 something. He retired from service tech work. Okay. The two of us says, 1 point, Drew, in those countries, those jobs are actually sought after. The desperate outnumber the others. That I can truly believe. And that's really scary. But it's most likely very, very true. Glenn says, congratulations on your birthday next week. Yes, Timothy and Eugene and Carl and Herschel, they all have a birthday next Friday. I'm going to have to do something special for them, because those guys are getting up there. You know what's so sad? Avery, you know what's so sad? They're going to be 69 next Friday.
69.
I'm going to have a hard time saying that with a straight face to scammers. Because I'm really just a child at heart, and yeah. I recently I was on one of my scam calls. Avery, was this lady who was updating my Spectrum boxes, and she said it's up to 70% done, and then I pissed her off, and then she said, well, I'm going to undo it, and started to go backwards, and she goes, now it's at 69%, and I was like, 69? Are you trying to secretly say something to me? And
I'd have been like 69, nice.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is I told my wife that, and she's like, oh, you're dumb. And I said, yeah, I know. I've never hid that fact. You all know I have never hid the fact that I'm an idiot. That's what makes it entertaining. It makes it so entertaining. Darlene says, oops, met my husband back in 79. Okay. See, I knew it was 1970 something, so... DeBad says, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I believe that is true. Yes. RK's here. He says, hello, Drew. How you doing? Sarah says, my 18-year-old son gets an IRS scam. Last time he said his name was Elmo Fudd and lived at 123 Sesame Street, and he was married to Miss Piggy. I don't think Miss Piggy lives on Sesame Street, but maybe. Manuel says, hello, good evening to RK. RK says, happy Saturday to Vicky and Benji. Vicky and Benji says, GTSY. Oh, let me just see if I remember what GTSY stands for. Get the soft you? No. Go to school yammer? Go to school yammer. I like that one. Go to school yammer. I think that's what it means. RK says hello to Manuel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Manuel says, I like drinking tea in the morning for breakfast. Okay. I usually will get like a Diet Coke or a Dr. Pepper to start my day, but then after that, it's all water. Christina says, we're getting a video of the father-daughter dance. Oh, probably. It's probably going to be out there.
Oh.
Yeah, there'll be one. Darlene says, my oldest son worked at our local McDonald's for a bit. I worked in Battleboro, Keene, and Kensington, New York McDonald's. Okay. D-Bad says, with your eyesight, my wife's mother had some problems and she was considered legally blind. I'm not there yet. But my wife and I, when we were early in our relationship, joked about if we had to lose something, what would it be? And I always joked I'd lose my vision because, I never could see very good anyway. So it wouldn't be a stretch. It's happening quicker than I thought. So Sarah says, punch the like button. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that. Thank you, Sarah, for reminding me. If anybody has an opportunity, go ahead and hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. All right. Darlene says, my mother got called 4 times for jury duty back in the 70s. See, I think one of the reasons why I don't get jury summonses, knock on wood, as often as you'd think, it's a big city. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people to choose from. So at least that's my thought. The two of us says, we always threw jury summons away for 2 years. Finally sent us a registered one. Said, do not ignore or go to jail. We threw that one away too. The two of us, you could always blame the other guy. That's how you do it. RK says, it's called spoofing all over the world. Oh, okay. D-Bad says, they are using computer software to do the spoofs. Okay. Jim says, I always have a registered doctor note for jury duty. Ramon's here, says, hi there, following you from the Dominican Republic. Very cool. The Dominican Republic. Excellent. Well, thank you for joining. Dark Side Paul says, got a call. They wanted access to my computer. I told them my keyboard fell behind my desk. Manuel says, one time I get off of work to go to Walmart and meet man need money for gas. Put on the vehicle. I gave him $5 and he went and bought alcohol. Yes, I could believe that. Darkside says, I said a rat was back there. I convinced the scammer to yell at the rat. He was desperate to access my computer. He said, rat, go away, rat. I almost died. That's hilarious. Vicky and Benji says, oh, yes, definitely a starter job with flexible hours for school. Yep. Manuel says, Dark Side Paul, happy Saturday. Jim says to Dark Side Paul, laughing faces. Same with Manuel. Dark says thank you to Manuel. RK says smiley faces to Dark Side. Glenn says, remember the scarecrow? If I only had a brain. If I had a brain, I'd be dangerous. Isn't that the truth, Avery? All right, I'm going to try to catch up on the chat real quick. Tim says, I had a paper route at 15 years. I never did the paper route thing. Did you ever do a paper route thing, Avery?
No.
I think they wanted kids older when I looked into it because I was still a young kid, and they wanted kids that were committed to getting up early and doing all the things they had to do, and whatever age I was at the time was too young. So it's all right. Darlene says the service desk manager who hired me at Ames Depot store got arrested for embezzling several thousands of dollars. I don't know if my store manager got arrested, but I know he was fired. And I actually heard about that story a few years later, and I was like, man, I feel vindicated. Vindicated. Heinz says, my first job was a paper route in Hamburg, Germany at 13 back in 1961. I always had a paycheck till I retired in 2016. Hard work never hurts. That is absolutely true. Yeah, I my first job was a bag boy, then became a cashier, then got fired, and then I went to Pick and Save and became a cashier at Pick and Save, which that was okay. BB said, "Oh, I remember the reversal one. So funny." RK says, "Come on, you're not 69 or 59 or 39." Actually, I'm literally. Manuel says, "Congratulations on your birthday next week on Friday." To my homeboy Timothy, I will let him know. And yeah. BB says, "So funny." Charles says, "You don't look 69, mate." No. You know, I've always theorized that when you tell somebody they look good, you should make a number that is so far out. You know, like, wow, Avery, you look good for 88. You know, you look damn good for 88.
Gee, thanks. I'm not. Yeah. Damn, I'm younger than you.
I know you are. Vicky and Reggie says, "Oh, GTSY is good to see you." What did I say it was?
Something.
Yammer.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I know. Glenn says, "Actually turning 70 on the next birthday. Don't think I'll get this old that fast. This fast. Well, it happens." Darlene says, "Good to see you. Good to see you" is GTSY. Okay, thank you. BB says, "It's like hot tea. I like hot tea as well." Okay, you must be crazy. I never got into the tea thing. Manuel says, "Drew, how many more days of your job left?" Actually, no. I'm counting Fridays. I have 9 left. 9 Fridays left.
No, you have the palate of a 12-year-old.
Yeah, I know.
It's chicken nuggets and barbecue sauce and soda.
I do like some barbecue sauce. So
I know. So does your shirt. Because I've never seen you eat it without wearing it.
Yeah, I know.
And the whole time I've ever known this dude, I've never seen him eat a meal without wearing it.
I think I do that just for you because I made it through this evening clean shirted.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I lied. I changed shirts before I started the stream. I was in my comic shirt. So.
Okay.
Shut up.
See.
RK says, "A new scam has started. This is a sophisticated white-collar scam. Some random lady with a stock phone from a certain country starts calling. C wants to be your contract and..." Okay. Senpai Bob says, "I'd rather lose my leg. At least I can play guitar still, watch movies, or play video games. I live through my hands." Yeah, I think my hands are important, but my eyes, I already have enough problems. RK says, "Once you add her to your contacts, she goes and proceeds to check your friends and send the same contact message. Later, you start getting good morning messages." That I can believe because that happens on Facebook a lot, where they create a Facebook that looks just like your Facebook page, and they send out friends requests to people who are already friends on your page, and a lot of times they just refriend you because they don't realize that you're being scammed. And he says, "At the time I removed her from my contacts. Don't know what the end game was there, but same photo has been from multiple contact requests." Most likely they're going to hit you up at some point for something, you know, or your friends pretending to be you. So Senpai Bob says, "Oh, I shot as a hobby too. Need my eyes, especially being blind in one eye." Okay, I got you.
Shoot.
Probably says shoot. Yes. Okay. English. Definitely not my first language. Vicky and
but it is
scary. Yeah, I know. Birth says, "Kansas City is a major city, and one of my friends served jury duty 4 times in 7 years. Holy crap. That seems like a lot. Man, I got to knock on some more wood because I haven't gotten a jury summons in a long time." Darlene says, I worked at a police station at age 17 typing up reports for court cases. Holy crap. That must have been crazy to do that. My dad worked in the military. He worked with the MPs, and he did a lot of typing up of stuff. And he told me a few very disturbing stories that he had to not translate. What is it when you take a audio recording and you
transcribe?
He had to transcribe some stuff, and guys getting sent away to Leavenworth for spouse abuse and murder and crazy ass stuff, and he had to read them and yeah. Okay, cool. I caught up. Hot damn. Woohoo! Guys, I'm going to wrap up now. I appreciate everybody out there who was able to stop by this evening and say hi. I hope you guys had a good time. It's going to get crazy. I only got 9 weeks left of work. Plus, you know what's so funny is my daughter's wedding is the week before I retire. So when I say there's only 9 weeks left of the job, there's only 8 weeks left before her wedding. And she hates it when I remind her of that. We're now down to single digits, guys. I'm so excited. I can't wait. But I thank you all once again for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope everybody out there stays safe. And remember, if you get calls like the ones I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, try to record it, because you know the golden rule. Share. I screwed it up.
Screw and share?
Screw and share. I did it backwards. Guys, we're going to start again. Hey, and just remember, if you ever get calls like the ones I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, record it and share it with people. Remember the golden rule. Screw and share. Did it! Do you remember how we talked?
I disavow.
Do you remember how we talked months and months and months ago? And I said, I got to come up with a good catchphrase for the channel. And the only thing I had at the time was, if you get calls like I do, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And that was a little too long to be a catchphrase. I swear, screw and share is the catchphrase I want to go with.
Okay.
I've got to find a way to make that part of my logo. Screw and share. Good night, everybody.
Go for it.
Fantastic
Oh,
weekend.
God.